Okay, hello.
Hello.
What do you think about the war against the drugs in Colombia?
Okay, at the present time, the war on drugs is a complete waste of money, and it gives us a lot of destruction in our communities and in our society. Although there has been more than 50 years of war on drugs, that which give us a lot of destruction in our communities and approximately waste of $1 trillion. Colombia still being the most distributor of cocaine in the world. In fact, the UN shows us that Colombia is in share of the production of the 70% of the cocaine in the entire world. Indeed, this just shows that the problem is doesn't solve and the war is doesn't work, and the inefficiency of the government with the war on drugs. After all, we have to find other solutions to really combat the problem as itself. So, what do you think is a good solution to the problem with drugs?
Well, in the first place, it's true that the war against the drugs doesn't work for Colombia. So the government need to look for another solutions. Instead of the instead of the traditional military war, the government must to research or look for another alternatives or strategies like education for make people more concerned. As an example, the educational system of Netherlands shows a reduction of 70% of the deaths in hands of the drugs. It shows us that people in only 2 years.
Okay,
Okay, in reality, people don't even know what they are consuming in Colombia.
that's true.
So people need to be most concerned. So as can be seen, the government need to apply education to make people more concerned about the consequences of consuming drugs. So what do you think is another good solution for the war?
Centrally, what do you say? It's true and it's a real, but it doesn't solve the real problem of the narco traffic and cartels in Colombia. So, as you mentioned, in Netherlands they have a very good applied educational system, but they have something that really really function. That is the legalization. Uh, for instance, in Los Angeles, USA, LA, the first year that they legalized the consumption of marijuana, the statistics shows that the cartels in that zone couldn't compete with the quality and the price that the government is giving to the customers. So it reduced for an 80% of the cartels. So it works. For it, of course, in Colombia, it's something to analyze, and it's very polemic. But it's a solution that gives us a real a real combat with the real problem of the war of the drugs. So all in all, the government should take could take the the selling and the market of the drugs, and controlling the drug addiction and the people that are dependent of the substance. So what do you think about the legalization?
Well, not only legalization could be the principal solution for this problem, but also could be a good alternative if it's good applied with our educational system. So under those circumstances, the government need to apply or need to inform more to the consumers. If people want to consume drugs, they need to look for a better high qualified drugs, and it can reduce the deaths by overdoses of bad consumption. As an example, or in fact, It's notable how countries like Canada, USA, and Netherlands show us that legalization can reduce these consequences until dangerous. And it makes that the cartels and narco traffic reduce the deaths because they couldn't control of all the business. In fact, the government need to look for another solutions. Instead of the military attacks, and it could make deaths in war inequality. After all, the government need to look for solutions such as education and legalization, and be more concerned, inform people about what they are consuming, and that's it. In the long run, the drugs will be it will be there. So it is a choice if people want to consume or not. So it is in our own responsibility.
Thank you very much.